Hey Simlies, it's Deligracy here with a CADS video in The Sims 4, obviously. But anyways, I'm making the I'm going to call them the 4 element sisters, but really these could have been the 4 immortal sisters for the 4 immortal systems sisters challenge. That is a very popular challenge for Sims 4. But I started making them as fairies, and then I just thought, I just want to do the elements. And then when I was thinking about the challenge, I was just like, but their personalities that I've thought up for each of them don't really suit the challenge. So if you wanted to use these for the challenge, you just need to change their traits. So I think the Earth sister is meant to be athletic and good at training and like cooking and stuff. So I haven't included those kinds of things. But anyways, I actually got so into this, I've written up a description for each sister because I was like, I'm enjoying this so much. So I hope you guys like it. It's a little bit different to the usual CADS video, but these characters kind of really came to life for me. But right now we're working on the first sister, who's obviously water. And this is at the point where I thought I just was going to create fairies from the new spooky stuff pack. But in the end, because there's only like one fairy outfit with wings, I kind of thought, I'd rather do something with elements like princesses or something like that. And I thought, let's just do the immortal sisters. But anyways, to give a heads up, the 4 element sisters, this is my storyline, the 4 element sisters were gifted from the stars to nature in order to protect the world and its 4 elements: water, earth, fire, and wind. So this is the first daughter. The youngest daughter, Aqua, protects nature's waterways and the ocean. She gloomily lurks in the shadows of lakes or deep in the ocean's abyss, feeding off fish and water plants. So right now we're about to get her out of that fairy outfit. So just got to be patient for a second. And here we go. So basically she's wearing this like really cool bralette thingy that I love. It's actually bathers, but that works pretty well with her. And I thought this was a really cool headpiece, but we're actually going to use that for another sister later down the track. But we go with this hair, and I started putting some swimsuits or bathers on her, and I was like, not really working. The first one we had was much cooler, and then I was like, ooh, she should wear pearls. So she does lurk in the shadows of the lake or deep in the oceans, feeding off the fish and water plants, as I said, but her broad shoulders allude to the great strength she has as a swimmer. Her body is strong, with gills lining the back of her ears, enabling her to breathe underwater. Ocean pearls she discovers she constructs expensive jewelry from to sell to the people of the land above. So that's why she's wearing pearl earrings. And her personality traits are going to be gloomy, athletic, and she loves the outdoors. So I was thinking, if you're always underwater and you don't really get any vitamin D is from the sun, and the sun makes you feel good because it helps your hormones and endorphins and stuff like that. So I was like, she'd probably be a bit gloomy, always swimming around the reeds and stuff. So that's Aqua pretty much. We're just finishing off her outfit. It was really hard to pick what she should have in the end, but I wanted her appearance to kind of be a little bit fishy. So because she's a swimmer, she's got like broad shoulders, like I said. She's got a really narrow kind of triangle body shape with a 6-pack because she's ripped. And then her face has little fish lips. We actually go back to it after the next sister just to exaggerate it a bit more. And really wide set eyes and a little nose, kind of like a fish. At least that's the look I was going for. But I'll show you a screenshot in the end, so hopefully you can see that. The traits right now are not her final traits. So just, I suppose, really don't pay attention to the traits. I'll just read out the traits that they end up with. And they are on the gallery, so you can download them. Hashtag Deligracy, that's what it's under. And this next sim, I was going to go straight to fire, but in the end, I felt like she looked a little like a bird, so I decided to make her the earth element, which is kind of cool. So we're just constructing her. The fire sister does look quite similar to this sim in the end as she is now, but we're going to go straight into the Earth sim in a second. So giving her green eyes, dark hair, all of that jazz, and just making her come to life a little bit more. I just loved doing this. I think this is a really fun activity if you have the Sims to create the 4 elements, whether they're girls or boys or whatever. I think they're pretty cool, or kids. That would be pretty awesome to see. And a lot of the hairs actually look quite leafy in a way, which I liked. But I do enjoy this girl's hooked nose. I thought that was pretty cool and bird-like. So I'll read out her description. So Ivy here is the second daughter and is light as a feather. Balancing on the tallest of treetops, she hides amongst the leaves, peering and watching the world below. She is a loner with only the birds and the wildlife as friends. Her hooked nose has an incredible sense of smell and lures her into other people's business. She gets jealous very easily, especially of her sister's gems, wealth, and jewelry. So she makes her own earrings from feathers plucked from her bird friends. Whilst she is a loner, don't be fooled. She's very clever and conniving, dreaming up plans to take over all elements from her nest in the darkest, deepest woods. Her traits are genius, loner, and jealous. So we're just going back to Aqua just now, making her look a little bit more fishy-like. But we're about to finish off Ivy's outfit, which I think in the end I like the best, what we end up getting to. She looks a little bit funny right now. But her outfit's very pixie-like, which I loved. And I wish we could have made the shape of the ears more pixie-like for her. That would have been cool. But here are the feathers that she wears from her bird friends that she's made. Because she, unlike her sisters, who all have ways and means of getting gems and crystals and diamonds to wear, she doesn't have that. Or she doesn't have access to expensive pearls or anything like that. So she just makes do with what she has, but seeming she's a very jealous sim. Green with envy is where that trait came from. She's probably not as nice as the other sisters. She's not mean and she's not evil, but you could easily pop those traits in there if you wanted to. It would suit her quite well, I think. But she's super skinny to be light, to balance on the treetops, as I said. Anyways, we're up to the next sister, who is going to be fiery. This sim actually fits quite well into the 4 Immortal Sisters challenge because she is going to be romantic and she has commitment issues too. So that's pretty well suited to the challenge. But really, I wanted her to be curvaceous and very womanly and just stunning, really. So that's what we're going for. But she's coming together quite well, and she does wear a headpiece, which I really like. And I know it's just a towel. Well, that's what it's meant to be in The Sims 4, but when you color it in black, I thought it still worked and looked pretty cool. Yeah, but basically she's got very lush, big lips, broad shoulders. She's very busty, and she's got a great hourglass figure. But really, the element of fire is protected by Amber, the eldest of the 4. Residing in caves hidden by the red sand and rocks of sprawling deserts, she is a passionate romantic. Her wealth and jewels have been gifted to her by her past lovers, captivated by her womanly beauty and romance. Always on the move, she leaves her lovers broken-hearted in the deadly heat of the desert, the only remains of her being an abandoned fire of burning passion. Her traits are non-committal, romantic, and hot-headed. So you wouldn't really want to mess with her. I think she would have a few fights with her sister Ivy. But being the eldest, she kind of leads the way and often gets her way, I think. But all of her jewels that is being gifted to her by the other men she's met or lovers that she meets has kind of added up to be worth quite a bit because she's very beautiful and womanly. So she just kind of captivates any passerby sim. They just can't stop staring at her. Kind of like, in Harry Potter, what were those sims? Oh, not sims. Gosh, what am I talking about? Those lever creatures or something. I don't know. And Ron completely gets obsessed with them. She's kind of like that, I guess. But to figure out her outfit, Sorry, there's a lot of cars going past where I'm recording right now. But to get her outfit correct, I just didn't really know what I wanted to go with. Like, I was thinking along the lines of kind of Middle Eastern, and then I was thinking of something a bit more African, and then I was thinking more like glitzy glam, all sorts of things. So in the end, we go quite over the top with her dress. Like, she likes to dress up and look fabulous. So that's her character. She wears all of her diamonds. And I think we're going to get to her final outfit soon. I nearly chose this bodice for her to wear. I thought that was pretty cool. But in the end, we go for a dress, which I thought was pretty perfect. And it's interesting in the desert, people tend to wear more clothes than less clothes, even though it's really, really hot. And I suppose it's kind of come from protecting yourself from the sun. Because even if you were just walking around in bathers, you'd probably still be super, super hot anyway. So usually you're covered in lighter clothes, lighter weight clothes. I nearly went with this outfit, which is the kind of boob tube tank top look. Or not tank top, boob tube. And this was kind of cool too. I didn't mind that, but I was like, no, she has to look more luxurious and wealthy. So we'll get there in the end. It's really interesting to actually compare the three girls, though. I don't know. I really enjoyed this, and I feel like they each look like the different elements, or at least symbolize the elements pretty well. Aqua looking like a fish, and then Ivy looking very much like a bird, and then Amber's just very, very much looking like a passionate, womanly kind of character. So I think that would suit the challenge very nicely. We nearly went with this too, but we'll get rid of it in a second once we finish off her makeup. I love, 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 love all the makeup that they are putting in The Sims 4. The Sims team are doing a pretty awesome job with makeup. I love it. I know it doesn't really compare to the custom content out there, but I still, myself, not being very much into CC, I really like what The Sims are doing, and I'm really happy with it. Personally, even though I know a lot of you guys are like, I want more. But this is her final outfit. So it's very gold, very luxurious. It's kind of to show the golden sands of the desert, and then having the red diamonds as well in there to represent fire. So kind of tried to steer away from being just all red, even though I've gone blue and green for the other two. And we just fix up her lips just to make her look a little bit more lush and her lips stand out a bit more. But last of all, we have Wind to make, and she is loosely based on the actress from, I think it's called Babylon AD, or one of the Babylon AD movies. I'm not sure. She could be a French actress. I think she's European in any case, but you might recognize her. But yeah, I thought she was perfect for Wind. So she's very light, blonde, fair. It's a good mix of looking like it's a good mix of looks amongst these Sims. They're all very different, I think. Although apparently I do have kind of a type of Sim that I tend to make. People have said a lot of the faces I make are very rounded, but I don't know. In my mind, they all look different. So anyways, outgoing, strong, and athletic, Era goes wherever the wind takes her. Her travels and bubbly personality have led her to meet many people from different lands and places. She aspires to collect everything the world has to offer, including the jewels that she wears, twisted securely around her wrists and neck to ensure they don't get blown away whilst traveling. She only stays in one place until the wind changes or picks up again. She is terrified of cyclones, that they could swallow her up into the center of the earth. Her traits are outgoing, athletic, and she loves the outdoors. So she was really difficult to dress, but in the end, we get to an outfit that I'm really happy with. Right now, it's a bit of a hot mess. She's got like sequin tights and shorts and all sorts of things going on. And I kind of liked the idea of her wearing pajamas, because I was thinking along the lines of the Sandman, who sprinkles sand on children while they sleep to affect their dreams. So I thought that was pretty cool. This was an okay look, but we changed it up a little bit. Her posture isn't completely straight. I wanted her to have something that wasn't so perfect about her. Maybe she gets blown around a lot, so her posture's been blown around a bit too. But she's very strong and she needs to be light too for the wind to carry her. So that's why she's quite slender and skinny, but at the same time, she's like got a full-on six-pack. I love her makeup, how it's all just white, and very a lot of sheen going on and sparkle, and I think that's quite nice. We nearly go with this. I'm like, oh, did you just see a six-pack? It's like, whoa, girl, you got some good stuff going on. Oh my gosh, I've been wanting to use this swimwear as a top for so long with leggings, and I just couldn't find, I haven't been able to find a sim or a theme that it works with. Nearly forgot to put the rings on all the girls, so we're just putting rings on there. So you get a bit of a look of the different sims in any case. But we're just going to change the color of her outfit slightly just now, and it really completes her, having the more goldy tones, like the golden sunlight up in the wind and air and clouds. So I liked that quite a bit. But anyways, we're going to jump into screenshots now. So we have Aqua. I'm going to cough. Pardon me. Ivy who peers in the treetops. Then we've got Amber, who's the beautiful lover, passionate lover. And then we have, what's her name? Era. But I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're having a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. I'll speak to you soon.